Welcome to the Pink Power CEO platform. Not only is this a podcast, but it is also a lifestyle and a movement to enlighten, empower, and edify women across the globe to their next level of success in all areas of life. As women, we are mountain movers, we are chain breakers, and we work hard every day to keep ourselves from being bound by all the things that life throws our way. If you are ready to unlock the pain, discover your passions, and walk in your purpose, then you are invited to join us on this journey towards freedom. Freedom from depression, freedom from hurt, freedom from not feeling good enough, freedom from not making yourself a priority, freedom from complacency, freedom from paycheck to paycheck living, whatever is keeping you in a mental, spiritual, emotional, physical, or financial chokehold. The time to release yourself from these restraints is right now. So join us as we usher in a new episode of the Pink Power CEO. Hey, my beautiful butterflies, and welcome to the Monique Macklin Show on pinkpowerceo.com. This is our Bossing Up series where we have conversations with women who have turned adversity into accomplishment and pain into prosperity. On today's show, we have the amazing Angel Diggs, and we will be discussing a safe space out of dark places. Now, a little introduction about Miss Angel Diggs. So Angel hails from Washington, D.C. She's dedicated years of service to community, women, and children. She is a mentor and a certified life coach, mental health advocate, and an author. Her main goal is to uplift, inspire, and to motivate people from all walks of life. Angel believes that everyone has a voice and everyone should be heard. So, Miss Angel, how are you doing today?
Yes, how you doing, Miss Monique? I'm doing great today. I woke up this morning, so that's the first great thing.
I know that's right. That's always a blessing right there. So you have a wonderful bio. I love, based on our first conversation, I thought that you would be a great inspiration to women who have worked on healing themselves and continue, because it's not a destination, it's a continuous process, right? I know that's
Yeah,
something we talked about before, and you have worked through things for yourself, and now you're helping others to do the exact same thing, right?
yes, man.
Okay, so I know you
Absolutely right.
you you said you hail from the Washington D.C. area, and so that's where Angel began. So, are you still living in Washington D.C. or is that
I'm still in the area,
you're still in
so
that region? Okay,
yeah.
all right. So let's talk. Tell me a little bit about what where Angel began, and so we can work our way through how you got to where you're at today. Where growing up, what was life like for you?
So first of all, let's start with me actually being here on this earth.
Okay.
They told my mom that my mother had cervical cancer.
Mm.
And they told her that she wasn't able to have any more kids.
Ooh,
My dad, they tried to conceive me for 9 years. It
nine
didn't work.
years.
Yes, 9 years.
Wow. Okay.
Um, so pretty much my conception was a miracle. Now I didn't always think about it that way. It wasn't until I went through my healing journey that I realized that I'm here for a reason. During
Right.
my early childhood years, I was the only girl, raised the only girl,
Mm-hmm.
and I was often around my brothers a lot, and that caused room for a lot of manipulation from different people. It caused for me to be in situations where I was abused, sexually,
Oh.
mentally, and
Mm-hmm.
emotionally. So
Mm-hmm.
throughout my early childhood years, I thought that this is what my life was supposed to be about. Even though I knew that it was more, but
Right.
what I was going through caused me not to think about what my future had. Through my
Mm-hmm.
teen years, um, it kind of got worse. It was older men um, that was manipulating me, older men that was abusing me. And it was just like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Um,
You felt like this was my story. This is my life. You felt
This
no
is my life.
protection.
Right. So it got to a point where I started abusing alcohol, abusing drugs to try to black out what I was
Mm,
going through. It was like I
mm,
was going through an internal battle with myself because it's like I know um that I'm destined for greater, but this is
right.
my situation. And because I
Mm,
didn't have anything up to that point that would cause me to see anything different,
mm-hmm.
I battled with myself. I
Battle
battled
with
with my
yourself.
mind.
Mm,
I had a mentor that came to me. I used to fight a lot. And like I said, I was abusing drugs and alcohol. So it caused me to do some wild things, like fight a lot to
mm-hmm.
protect myself because I felt like I was all I had.
Correct.
So a mentor came to me. She said, Angel, what's going on? She was the first person that really actually I felt gave a care about what was going on with me. So she was like,
Mm,
Angel, look, we got to tackle this because I see so much greater things for you and for your future, but
mm-hmm.
you need to see it too. But in order for you to see it, we got to uncloud your mind. And I'm like,
Mm,
my mind not clouded because again, this has been going on for years.
right.
So it was up to me to decide. You know what? You're right. You're right. Like I can't
Mm-hmm.
continue to go on like this. And I listened to her. She started coaching me. She started talking to me. We started having one-on-one sessions. We would go out on lunch dates and everything. And she'll remind me, "Hey, you're beautiful. You're this. You're that. That."
Mm,
And I still had some negative thoughts in my mind, and it was some triggers.
yeah.
Um, I was on my. Sorry, I got a little emotional for a second.
It's
It
okay.
wasn't
Take your time.
until um one day I had severe alcohol poisoning
Mm,
to the point where they was like, you know what, your organs is shutting down. So
wow.
I'm in the ER. I'm in the hospital. I didn't know what was going on. I passed out. I was in the hospital for 5 days. They was like, Andrew, um, it's looking bad for you. Like we
Mm,
don't know what to do. Like you, yeah.
mm,
So it was then I started praying. I had my first daughter at this time. And I'm like, you know what? Well, this is the end. I didn't know it was going to end like this. Like, I thought I was, on the right path to get myself better. So it was then that I had to turn my faith on 1,000. I'm like, let me tap into my purpose. Let me tap into my name.
right.
Um, my name is Angel. I'm like, look, God, if you want me to be here, what am I supposed to be doing?
Mm,
And he told me, look, you ain't supposed to be doing that, but the pain that you going through, the suffering that you went through, the
mm,
struggle, the heartache, the heartbreak that you went through, you didn't go through this for nothing. You're here to help somebody else out of a dark place, just like I helped you out of this dark place. And that
mm-hmm.
really resonated with me. And it's like I've always had a connection to other people and other women. They would come to me, even when I was out doing wrong, they still came to me and looked for me for inspiration, which I didn't understand at the time.
Right.
So being in that hospital bed, it really opened my eyes and really opened my vision and my heart to say, you know what? This is my purpose. This is what I'm
Mm,
here. So
right.
I have to do everything that I need to do to heal and
Mm,
to go through this journey to overcome that
to get to the
trauma
other side.
and to be able to help deliver other women, to help
Mm.
encourage other women, to let them know that they can do the same thing.
Now it's interesting that you started by telling me that your parents took 9 years just for them to conceive you, um, and then you almost died through alcohol intoxication. And I will say, I actually lost my husband 3 years ago from alcohol intoxication.
Oh,
Um,
man.
so just knowing that you survived that is another testimony. That it took 9 years for you to even get here. You overcame all that you overcame, including surviving being on your deathbed. Your name is Angel, right? Um,
Yeah.
and it's like, the universe is always really conspiring in your favor in some way, right? The universe is always was always conspiring in your favor, and regardless of what you felt like, why am I here? And God has now given you a platform to show you why you're here. He didn't bring you here for nothing, right? There's a
Right.
reason that you're here, and you made it through. Your parents didn't even think that you could get here, and you're here. You survived all that life has thrown upon you, including almost dying. And you were really crying out for help at that
Right.
time,
Right.
right?
And I mean, and it was, I can give you multiple stories on times where, you know, I could have not been here. But we don't have that much time.
Right? Okay. You are true. But no, you can share whatever you feel like sharing. But I mean, even just that alone, you survive. I know I told you in our last conversation, I also survived sexual abuse as well. So there's a lot that so I understand where you're coming from in many instances, because it feels like some people, especially as children, because you were a child when all this was happening to you, right? Um, so as a child, it's like, what is wrong with adults that they think it's okay for them to, or even kids, because kids can mistreat other kids as well. But I don't know. I know you said as you got older, it was older men that were manipulating you and doing things as well. But it just makes you wonder what is in their thought process that thinks that it's okay to just treat people any kind of way and just, go on about life like it's okay. So I'm thankful that you're still here and you're still fighting a good fight. That's for sure. But yeah, you were in the hospital, and things were starting to come to you, and you just realized that God was telling you needed to take another you needed to kind of let him lead and guide you on this journey. Correct?
I was saying, absolutely, and prior to that, it was, so he was sending me different signs throughout my whole process, but I wasn't able to receive them at that moment. Like when he sent the mental, like when he sent different um things that prevented me from dying or prevented near death experiences that I've been through throughout
Mm.
those times, and it's like oftentimes even now when I go through reflections and I'm like, you know what? I could have been dead and gone, but I'm still here. I
Yeah.
still had something to do. I
There's
still
still
had
testimony
people
to
to
it.
reach,
Yeah.
and for that I'm absolutely grateful because he chose me,
He
you
did.
know.
He did.
Out of everybody in the world, he chose me, or you know,
Hmm.
to help somebody else. And I'm grateful for that. And I
Most
embrace it.
definitely. Most definitely, because your testimony is going to help free somebody else
Right.
that has gone or is going through. So you just never know, what who this may resonate with, or who your story may impact, or your work, just your work alone may impact. Now, know that you are a mom. How many children do you have?
I have two daughters.
Two daughters. So I know, being a mom, I have one daughter. So I know, being what we went through, our number one mission and role was to ensure that our children didn't go through what we went through, right?
Right.
So, what what is your process in just being a mom, being Angel the mother, when it comes to rearing your children, protecting them, and instilling those protective barriers in their minds and in their lives?
Well, my first approach as a mom, and not to discredit my mother, but because I was a young mom and I became a mom, during the time where I was being abused, I
Okay.
felt that I was extra overprotective when I first became a mom. Like,
Yeah.
um, my daughter had to be with me everywhere. Like, If I went to the grocery store, she gotta go with me. Like,
Right.
um, and I felt that sometimes I could be too abrasive, with my kids. But
Mm-hmm.
my main goal and my main objective and my main thing is to make sure that my kids know that I love them do anything. I always wanted to support my kids. I always made sure that whatever passions that they had, singing, dancing, writing, because both of my kids, they write music. They
Okay.
have an artist. So I made sure that I put them into programs or made a way for them to be able to go to programs and stuff that they desire in their heart. One, because I didn't always have that opportunity. And then I also wanted to make sure that when they had performances, when they had things to do, that I'm gonna make myself available to go.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that I dealt with as a child that kind of I didn't know was a something that hurt me until I
Right.
went through my healing process. But when I was a child, I was alone a lot. My
Right.
parents didn't go to my events. I also was a singer, dancer, and things of that nature, but played sports, and every time it came for me to be able to do something, I didn't have that support. So
Mm-hmm.
I make sure that I'm available.
Right.
I
Right.
don't care what's going on. Yeah,
Yeah. Drop
I'm
it all.
available
Trust me, I understand.
because I don't want my daughters to feel that their mom is not there.
Correct.
You know, and
Exactly.
it was some times where they witnessed some of the abuse that I was going through, and it's like I want them to know, hey,
Now,
I'm here.
have they asked you any questions about that ever, or no,
Um,
or have you explained anything to
we
them? Maybe a woman out there might be in a situation and they might need some guidance on how to explain to their young child on how they probably don't even understand it themselves, but just how to explain what they may have witnessed, or we're going to get out of this, or you
will
know.
definitely. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry to cut you off, but I
You're
will say
fine.
definitely it is not something easy to talk about
Just do.
with your kids.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's still hard to actually explain to them what you're going through when you're in that situation
Mm-hmm.
because you don't know what you're going through in that
Right.
situation.
Right.
So, I felt that it was definitely hard to be like, hey, this is why this is going on, this is why this is going on, because I didn't know,
Right.
you know.
Right.
So it definitely took for um us to go to counseling for us to,
Nice.
you know, stick together
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
I had to realize I'm not the only one, even though, yes, I'm the one that's,
Enduring it. Mhm.
well, we're all enduring it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how to say, I'm not even though I'm the one that's getting it first handedly, that's what
Correct.
I want to say. Even though I'm the one that's getting it first handedly, we're all still in this together. You know what I'm
Correct.
saying? And just to throw a question out there, like how would you feel if, I don't know if you're close to your mom or grandmother
Mhm.
or aunts or something like that, but if
Mhm.
you're seeing this happening to a person that you love or your mom or your aunt or vice versa, like you
Right.
would feel hurt. You know what I'm saying? Because you're like, hold on, this is my parent. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So it was
And I have to
also
be,
a
and to
time
be
where,
transparent, I was that child who did see my mom in an abusive marriage, actually. So I did witness that. And as the kids, you just sit in the corner and you cower. No one ever has a conversation with you, right? So yeah. So I definitely understand, and I know that since you went on your healing journey, I just wanted to know. Um, I'm glad that you were able to put your babies in counseling as well with you so that they understand that this is not normal behavior, right?
right,
And so that they won't um, then move on with their own lives and adulthoods and choose the wrong people. So you want them to be aware that this is not normal behavior. So that's why I was asking that question. What type of, how old are your babies? And my ask.
my youngest is 14 and then I have an 18-year-old.
Okay, so yeah. So they are definitely what. So when this is happening, this is years ago, I know, but they were still now that, especially the 18-year-old, the 14 is probably starting to like boys or something. So you want to make sure that they understand how this whole thing works, because who you choose in life makes a big difference, right? When you're sharing your time, your energy, and your space with people, and we got to be
Exactly.
mindful of that as well. So yeah, but I definitely applaud you for getting them counseling and not trying to just brush over it like they did. You know how they did back in the day. Everything got
Oh,
shuffled under the rug. Like we're not going to even act like this ever happened, which is
look,
why
I
so
know for
many
sure.
of us are in trouble.
I know for sure, and even now, um,
Hmm.
because it wasn't until a couple of years ago where I actually um told my parents and let
Oh,
them
really?
know, hey, I was going through XYZ, because my family didn't know. You know what I'm saying? All the
Mm.
trauma that I was going through after a certain well, they didn't know about the sexual abuse and all of that as a
Okay.
child, number one. So by the time I hit my teen years, it was I was acting out. Or, you
Right.
know, it was reflected on me versus it could be something that's going on that, this is stuff that they didn't want to talk about.
Mm.
So again, that caused me to be out on the ledge on my own.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it comes with a conversation, and again, I don't blame my parents at all. I can't, they did what they had to do to raise me and my siblings.
Right.
So they did what they knew to do. So I can't
That's
really
true.
blame them, you know. But when I look at it, and my mother was like, I can't believe you was going through all that. Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
even down to the, you know what I'm saying, abusive relationships that I was in. And like,
Hmm.
hold on, you came here, y'all came to events and everything smiling, and we
You
didn't
learn. I
even
was gonna
know.
say you
You
learned
know,
how to hide it well.
we didn't even know. Even
Yeah.
the kids, even
Yeah.
my daughters, you
Yeah.
know, played the game with me. So
Exactly. Isn't that
it
interesting though?
comes to a point.
But isn't that interesting how a whole household to understand, not you're all living in trauma, but you all understand that we can't tell nobody. Whether you, I'm sure you didn't say anything to them, to not say,
Exactly.
to not say anything, but even as kids, they knew that this is something that I can't share with anyone else. And I don't know. I wonder where that comes from, but that's something that's kind of deep. But this it's just that protective, because they were protecting you, right? So they didn't know who I could trust with this information. So
Right.
yeah, yeah. Even as kids, but it's amazing how even as kids they learn how to do that. It's very interesting. But yeah, like you said, you go out to family functions and everybody thinks this is a wonderful, happy family, and
Right.
everything is okay.
Right. And there was a lot of times where, you know, the person that I was with was like, I'm not going to that. You shouldn't be going to that, blah, 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 blah. And
Mm-hmm.
then it's when I go, then I say this and da, 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 da. And, it's like when I come home, it's going to be hell to
It's
pay,
gonna be a
because,
problem.
you
Mm-hmm.
know, why you wearing this? Why you doing that? It was just a lot.
Stress,
So,
girl.
my kids felt like, Mom, we need to be with you.
Mm-hmm.
And then as a defense for trying to protect my daughters, I'm like, oh, y'all coming with me. Or I would ask, one of my close friends to watch my kids, and they like, ain't your husband at home? Like, ain't
Yeah,
it like, why do we gotta always watch the kids? But nobody knew
correct.
why I wouldn't leave my kids with certain people, and it was a
Right.
part of, I wouldn't
Y-
say that it was always, you know, bad times or abusive times or nothing like that, but just a
No,
part of me growing up and what I've already experienced. And I was like, no, but I don't want
that
my
was your
kids
mama
to
bear.
experience that.
You were in mama
Yeah,
bear
like,
mode.
I
So
don't want
yeah,
my kids to experience this.
yeah. And you also didn't trust, right? So you didn't trust if I could leave him with my children and they would be safe, because what you went through, they weren't expecting that to happen to you, right? Your parents weren't
Right.
expecting these things to happen. So it's the same. So you have this in the back of your mind and in the forefront of your mind. So of course you're like, yeah, no, they're coming with me. And I was the same way. I was extra I guess they call it like a helicopter mom or something. But yeah, but you're in mama bear mode at that moment because you have to protect your babies at all costs, and that's just at nothing else. That's what happens,
Right.
especially for women who have or people who have been sexually traumatized and emotionally, physically, all of those things. It all plays a part, and the last thing you want is for your babies to have to endure that. So I definitely get that. Now, did you have a safe space? I think you mentioned your grandma on this form. Was your grandmother a safe space for you to go to at times?
Um, Definitely not.
No.
Um, I didn't
Did you have?
have a.
Let me. Did you have a? You didn't have no. Oh, you didn't have anyone as a safe space, or anyone that you can trust as a safe space. I should say.
It wasn't until my mentor pulled me to the side. She was like, you know
Your
what?
mentor. Okay.
Yes, that was
Okay.
actually my first safe space. Now, I didn't originally get into with her everything that was going on, but she made sure that she came and got me. She made sure that she
Mm,
came to my room. She made sure that she was there for me and let me know that, whatever is going on, I could talk to her about. But she was
okay.
my safe space, not because she had made it available for me to talk to her about anything, but she was my safe space because I can be a kid. I can be free.
Mm.
I can let down, my
You could
guards.
be
I can be
angel.
vulnerable. Exactly. And to me, that was a safe space,
Yeah. Yeah.
because I'm like, every day that I go out the house, every day that I wake up, every day that
Mm.
I have to prepare for the world, I can't show up as myself because not now, I'm talking
Physically.
about then.
Back
Not
then, yeah.
now, I'm talking about then.
Yeah.
But I couldn't talk about what I was going through. I couldn't
Mm.
express my emotions. I couldn't cry. I had to always watch my back, or, you know, in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh, this is another day that I could possibly get abused.
Yeah, you was in
So,
fight mode. You woke up in fight mode.
right.
Yeah,
I
right?
woke up in fight mode. I went to sleep in fight mode.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know.
child. Trust me, I understand.
So when it came to my mental being around her, I can be me. I could play video games. I
Mm.
can go to the park. We can go to, different things. And I could just be a kid,
Yeah.
and to me
And
that was
when you
safe.
look at your baby, sometimes you even at I know they're 14 and 18, but even as you watch them, weren't you in awe at what you were allowing them to have? At
Yeah.
that space that you what you wanted for yourself, you were in a position to now give it to them.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Because that's actually that's freedom actually. When you're free to just be you and just be free to giggle and laugh. Some kids can't even giggle and laugh in their homes without being
Yeah.
chastised or something, you know? It's
Yes, and
so crazy.
definitely I teach them, my daughters that as well, because they told me, hey mom, I have some friends that they don't even talk to their mother like how we
Hmm.
talk to you, or
Yeah.
you know, their mother is not there and you always at the front. Hey, so
They probably cheer for them babies
so
too.
so they like, mom, you're embarrassing us sometimes. I'm like, look, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. But I'll be right there with my camera. I'm yelling. I'm
Yes.
like, those my kid. But they said, my oldest daughter, she was like, Mom, I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful that, you've done that.
Mm,
Like that made us feel special, even though we were embarrassed sometimes, but we know the truth is.
correct.
And, that means a lot to me because I know what it felt like
Yeah.
to feel alone.
Yeah. And the other thing is now what you transitioning into turning your life experience into an actual business, right? So now
Hmm.
you had a mentor that allowed you to be free. You had a mentor that poured into you. Now you're in a position to now do that for other you do it you work with men and women, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So you work with men and women and you give them a safe space so that they now can come out of those dark places. So how and what does that look like when you're working with people and helping them through? How does that feel for you and to you?
It actually, I can't really pinpoint the exact feeling, but I know that I feel that I have helped someone. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I feel joyful, but I don't want to take the credit or take away from the person who I'm helping.
Right.
Because I feel like I'm not doing this for me. Because I'm definitely not doing this for me. I'm doing this
Mm-hmm.
for the sake of freeing someone else or helping someone
Yeah.
else
Yeah.
elevate and, heal from whatever they've been through or to move
Mm-hmm.
on to the next chapter of their life. So for me, it's not so much that I feel like, oh, I'm this magnificent person. You know, it's
No, I mean, you have to.
it's
I want you to give yourself your own. You have to be willing to give yourself your flowers, because if you hadn't done the work, you wouldn't be in a position to help others do the same. And with
right,
you pouring into other people what was poured into you, now they're free to be free from that drama and trauma that they've experienced, right? But maybe now they can now open themselves up to pay it forward, right? So
right,
no, you
right,
definitely should feel that you should feel magnificent because you have done the work. You should. Yes, you're going to set aside time for the allotted time for your clients, but you're still going to say if you had not done this, you wouldn't be able to do that, right? So I want
right.
you to give yourself your flowers because a lot of people would have given up. You could have given up in that hospital,
You're absolutely right about that.
right? So
Absolutely
no,
right.
you definitely want to give yourself your flowers, and if you won't, I will, because
Thank you. I
that
appreciate that.
that is it's an amazing thing because I have also been through a lot of trauma in my life, and I know, especially on the sexual abuse side, what you have been through and what you've gone through. So I know what it even takes to pull yourself out of that hole. That's a deep hole. That's a dark hole to come and to climb out of. And even as you are still on this healing journey, because as I know you said, it's not a destination because you're always going through it. So
Right,
you do it every day, and you wake up with a purpose and with intention to say, who can I help today? Because you might just help somebody who's listening to this. You may even just help somebody you just walk past on the street, because
and you
sometimes
know what?
energy you can feel that.
And you know what's funny about what you said? It's not really funny, but that happens to me.
Hmm.
And there has been plenty of times, like every single day, actually, that I go out. I'm a community advocate as well, but
Oh
there are
wow.
people that come to me and they just be like, you know what, I was just led to come to you, and they end up telling me their whole life story,
See.
and it's just like, I feel better, and then of course we talk and I let them know what I do, and we connect that way,
Hmm.
but it's just the fact of knowing that I have the ability to change somebody's life, to help change their life in a positive way, even if it is just a conversation, even if it is sharing my story, even if it is just being a listening ear. You
Hmm.
know, a lot of people don't have people to listen to them. A lot of
You're
people
right.
don't have people. You know what I'm saying? And it's
That's willing to listen,
right, right,
right?
right,
Just listen. Not you. You don't even have to give me any advice. Just listen. My golly, and people don't understand how important that is because, like you said, you grew up with brothers, right? They're not trying to listen to you, right? And it's a
right,
whole lot of girls growing up like that, or they might be sisters, and it's a lot of sibling rivalry, and everybody's fighting for mom and dad's attention, or if there's a single mom fighting for mom's attention. So they
right.
might not be like a mentor came into your life and blessed you. So what she blessed you with, what you're really doing is just paying it forward. That's all.
Yeah.
That is all. And that's so yeah, you definitely, like I said, you could have said, you know what, Lord, I'm done with this life. you know, you could have said
I
that.
said it. I said it.
You see?
I said it a
He
couple of
said,
times,
girl, no. He
but
said,
he was
girl,
like, "Oh
bye.
no, you ain't. You got something to do."
He said, I ain't done with you yet, girl, bye. So we got some work to do, and you got these babies to raise. That's what he said. So we got to get all of that done first. So yeah, but I wanted to also ask, when it comes to people reaching out to you, what's the name of your business? Let's first talk about that, and then I want to ask also, or have you answer also, how is the process with you when people want to reach out to you? How do they reach out to you, and what is the process? Do you do like a consultation first? Do we fill out forms, or they just go to your website and schedule? What's the name of your business, and what's the process of reaching out to you?
Yeah. So, my business is ADiggs TheCoach. And I have a platform called Ask the Coach, where people, they write me letters or they send me info or they ask me to speak at an event for them, and they can reach me at adiggsthecoach@gmail.com.
Okay.
And then in the subject, just let me know what they reaching out to me for. I do also have a website,
Mm-hmm.
adiggsthecoach.com. I'm most
ADiggsTheCoach.com. Okay.
Yes, and that's ADIGGS
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
CHECACH.com.
.com. I'll say it again. Don't worry about
Thank
that.
you.
So now,
Thank you.
what do
'Cause,
you special? What is your specialty? So is it when you say coaching? What can people reach out for you? What is your I guess your specialty on helping people? Because I also know that you help people with resources too, don't you?
yes.
Like yeah.
So,
So yeah.
um, a lot falls under my umbrella. So,
Okay.
um, I do mentoring, I do public speaking, I do motivational speaking. When they reach out to me, I also do goal accountability, time management. Um, I also help with mental health advocacy, and direct to where you need to go to get medications or find therapists,
Hmm.
things of that nature. Because I'm not a therapist, I am a counselor though, but I'm not a licensed therapist, so I can't prescribe you any medication or anything of
Okay.
that
You help them get
nature.
access.
Right.
Okay.
Um, I'm also an accountability coach. I teach classes, life skills classes. I actually have a community service class that I'm going to be teaching in July, which goes along with my life skills series.
Nice.
So, um,
Do you have any events coming up soon? Like I said, I know you said life coach classes. Is it broken up into quarters or months, or they just when they come in they get in where they fit in kind of thing, or how does that
it's
work?
pretty much like a get in where you fit in type of
Is it
situation.
group?
But I
Is it
do
group
have,
or is it individual? That's what I meant to ask also.
as far as the class,
Mm-hmm.
so the class is actually a group class.
Okay.
So I will be offering 2 sessions for the customer service class. That'll be in July and
Okay.
August. So I will
Okay.
be posting those on my platforms. So hopefully, whoever's listening, you will join my platform so that you will be able to stay informed as to those dates and be able to get the Eventbrite information, because I would love to have you in my class.
Oh, wonderful. I love it.
I
So,
also have a podcast,
oh, okay.
and
Is that A
and
Diggs the coach as well?
yes.
Okay.
So I have just changed platforms, so now I'm on YouTube,
Oh,
and I sent you my information on the
mm-hmm.
YouTube
Yep,
page.
I have it.
Yeah, so um, at
But
YouTube, I'm
all of these
also,
links can be found on your website too, right?
yes, they can.
Okay. Okay, perfect. So, so once again, you can follow Miss Diggs on A Diggs the Coach on Facebook. Her website is A Diggs DIGGS the Coach at .com. I was going to give the email. ADiggsTheCoach.com, right?
Yeah.
And YouTube, which you will also be able to access on her website, but her YouTube platform is YouTube /the @ and ADiggs TheCoach 21. So ADiggs TheCoach 21. You should be able to just type that in the search bar and it should pull up, honestly, just ADiggs TheCoach 21 on YouTube. But if you go to ADiggsTheCoach.com, all of her links are on that platform, and on Facebook is where I met her at. You can look her up at ADiggs TheCoach on Facebook as well. So,
And my link is also in the bio on my Facebook page as well.
Okay.
So if you need it to go there to find me as well, you can.
So again, she does group coaching. She does mentoring, accountability coach, and she has group. Like she said, she has group. Are you going to do individual sessions?
Yes, I do individual sessions as well. But again, that's by you have to actually right.
But no, this Miss Diggs has a wealth of knowledge. She has a testimony to go with the knowledge, and she has, once again, if you didn't catch the introduction, she is a mentor, a certified life coach. She does mental health advocacy. She's also an author. What's the name of your book?
Well, my most recent book that I have out is called "If Only You Could See Me," which is a poetry variety book, and this is actually volume 1. Volume 2 will be out later this year, as well. So that's my current book. I also have a book called "Meditation for Busy People," which is available on Amazon. Meditation for Busy People.
Okay.
And that's available on Amazon. And I also have a healthy living book. And I also have a diabetic cookbook available as well. That could be found on my website and also on Amazon.
I love it. See, the title of this podcast is "A Safe Space Out of Dark Places." So this is a woman who has endured a lot from childhood into adulthood, but she has been able to turn it around. She's done the work. She's aligned herself with resources that can also help others that need assistance with their mental help, or mental struggles that they're having as well, if it's medication and things of that nature. But she's also a listening ear. She's she's a coach. She's certified to do the work, and she is committed to helping men and women just turn that darkness into light, right? Just find a safe space so that they can tell their stories and be heard. Right? A lot of people do a lot of talking to people, and a lot of people ain't listening to you. So it's amazing when somebody is actually taking the time out of the day to just hear exactly what you're trying to do and where you're trying to go. And when you have somebody like Miss Angel Diggs, who, again, she's been through things, but she's done the work. Her mission now is to help you do the same. So, Angel, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me today and to help people who are going to hear your message. Your message is going to resonate because it resonated with me. And I know that you're going to touch somebody, and we're going to be getting this out real soon. So again, I want to thank you for blessing me today with your presence. And I look forward to talking with you again soon.
Oh, I want to say thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for allowing me to be able to tell my story, to be able to reach somebody. So I appreciate you. I want to say I'm excited about the type of work that you do, the type of people that you touch, and the influences and contributions that you make, because it's about what we can contribute to the world positively, and I see that that's what you're doing, and I'm grateful for that. If no other woman has told you that, I'm telling you that. Just like you gave me my flowers, this is your flowers from me. So,
I appreciate you.
Thank you again so much.
You're welcome, baby. Thank you. And again, we'll talk soon. And again, people, This information is going to be available, so make sure you reach out to Miss Angel Diggs, reach out to her, follow her. A lot of people might be scared at first because I know, listen, people scared to talk. I do credit. People scared to talk about credit on talk
Look,
about their bad credit. So I know people get a little apprehensive when they're trying to break down those barriers when it comes to what's bugging them and bothering them in life, those traumas, those triggers, all of those things. But don't hold on to that. You can have a conversation with someone who has survived a lot, who has healed, and she is willing and capable to help you. She has the capability to put you in position. If she can't do it, at least she can direct you on who can do it, right? So,
exactly.
again, that's what you
Because I'm
need in
here
your
to
corner.
help you and not harm you,
Exactly.
and that's what a lot of people are scared about today. A lot of people say, hey, I'm here for this, but
Yeah,
I'm here to help you. I
you're
have
here to
nothing
help.
to gain from harming anyone. So,
Mm-mm. No, your mission is to bless people. So we want to make sure that if you are in need of any mental, and just even having a conversation doesn't even have to be mental. People are just struggling in this economy, and they don't understand how to overcome this. They don't, you got all kinds of craziness going on at home, and you have no outlet. She can be your outlet, right? So,
right.
again, reach out to Miss Angel Diggs, and she is more than willing to help you through this process. So, again, Angel, we'll talk with you very soon, and I hope you have yourself a wonderful and a very blessed day.
You too. Thank you.
You're welcome, dear.
Thank you for listening to the Pink Power CEO podcast. My mission is to provide content that will allow you to self-reflect, become self-aware, and just love on yourself a little bit more each and every day. When you do that, you can then begin to design the lifestyle that you desire to have. Be sure to visit us online at www.pinkpowerceo.com to submit your comments or to learn more about becoming a guest on either our My Pain, My Passion, My Purpose show or the Bossing Up show. If you are shy and still have questions you need answers to, there is an option to submit questions to Hey Mo Hey. Once again, I thank you for your support and look forward to building a strong community of women that are enlightened, empowered, and edified to their next level of success in all aspects of life. Be sure to follow us on all social media platforms at Pink Power CEO. My name is Monique Macklin, and I will see you at the top because, as we all know, the bottom is way too crowded.